At the start of the competition, I've asked the two guys to come up with some anti-post bets, which I thought would make it a bit of fun all the way through. And we've come up with a series of three bets: a £20 bet, a £50 bet, and a £100 bet. And I'll ask Ryan to kick off with your £20 anti-post. Ryan, who is it?
My £20 anti-post is on Coney Wonderland at around 50 to 1. Runs in the 7:35 on Saturday. It's a really tough race. It's a really good introduction to the Derby. It's got Dearjet Sydney in two. I just think that this dog, for a dog that's so lightly raced, the 28-27 he posted on the 17th of May at Nottingham was flying. And if you watch the run, sometimes times can be a little bit deceptive. But if you watch the run, he's shown really good early. And then as soon as he got out of the second bend, he took absolute lengths from him. Now, it wasn't probably a Derby level race at the time, but they were still good dogs. I mean, Doolin King, who's a top A1 minor open dog at Perry Bar, couldn't get near him, and he put absolute lengths between them, himself in the field. And because of how lightly raced he is, I think he's only going to get better. The one concern would be, in particular for the race on Saturday, is he doesn't want to be in track one. So even though he's seeded rails, I think I prefer him at 3 and 4, to be honest here, because he will be moving off as soon as the trap's open. But I think he's got the early pace to potentially lead these races, and I do think that as the competition goes on, he will get stronger and stronger, and he's a stayer. And I think he's a dog that's gone completely under the radar in terms of the UK dogs. So I think £20 at 50 to 1. I think hopefully get a good run for our money.
Yeah, you just say very unexposed, isn't he? Nine races, 6 wins, owned by Gilo Racing, which is nice to see. And
Yeah.
could be one of those stories, the dog that went from A4 Sheffield all the way through to a Derby. So fingers crossed. Moving on to your £20 bet, who would that be?
Oh, that's my £50 bet now.
Sorry,
Sorry.
your £50 bet.
Yeah. So my £50 bet is it's an 8.51 on Thursday, and it is Trap 6 Priceless Jet. I think we all got to see a glimpse of what this dog's capable of on its last run at Toaster when it did 29.11. It starts, it stays, it's only going to get better. And I think because it's always going to get an ideal draw, I think this dog is the perfect dog to go a long way in this competition. Its island form's really, really good. Did a 29.77 at Shelbourne, which is ridiculously quick. I think it's got a great opportunity to get off to a winning start. And yeah, I expect this dog to at least make the final come in 5 weeks' time.
Wasn't he one of those that's under scrutiny though? Because I noticed there's a middle comment for his last run. Was he one of those that was on the shortlist? I can't remember.
Yeah, he was, but I mean, he was, but I mean, if you look at the if you look at the run from the last time, he didn't go bang straight to the middle. He came out and then gradually came to the middle of the track as the bend approached. So I do not think that 6 is going to be a cause for concern. I think as we go on as well, you're going to see a lot of railers that are going to be running 3, 4, and 5. So I do think that 6 would be a perfect draw for him. I think he's going to be fine.
Excellent. And then the big one, your £100.
My £100 is going on running the 8.14 on Friday, and it is Trap 2 Roxham Shake. Again, I think that there's been a lot of noise about the UK dogs, or a lack of noise in terms of the quality this year. For me personally, this dog is the leading British hope, the UK hope for the Derby this year. Very lightly raced. The Keeleys of all trainers know how to run a dog. His times that he's run so far and the wins that he's done are ridiculously quick. I think a 28-28 in Nottingham. Before that, with the competition at Perry Bar, he beat Candyman, who we all know is incredibly strong dog, up and coming dog, and did 28-21 at Perry Bar, which I cannot remember a dog going that quick. He's beat good fields in his time, even though he is lightly raced. He's beat a good caliber of dogs. And yeah, I think he's only going to get better as the competition goes on for a dog that is lightly raced. He can lead these races. He stays well enough. And yeah, I think he's the UK leading hope. I think he's a top dog, top prospect, and I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing him go through the rounds.
I was just looking at the at his trial form coming into this is exactly what the Keatleys would want, isn't it? 29.40s, 29.50s, ticking over nicely coming into the first round.
He just looks like he's getting better every week, every time that he runs. He hasn't found a lot of time on them runs, but it's been consistent. And like we said, we all know how good they are as a kennel. They're going to get this dog fully tuned up. He's in a very tough race on Friday with the Ballymat Wild dog inside, but I think he'll get through that. As long as he can get through that unscathed, I think he's going to get better as the competition goes on. And yeah, I think he's a really, really good prospect. And I think there's not, like I said, I can't really remember a lot of people talking about this dog, which has been surprising, but he's been 33 to 1. I'll snap that up, and yeah, hopefully I'll get a good return on my investment come next month.
Excellent. So, Joe, you've been as canny as always, and not even just going for. Obviously, given your previous success, do we need to mention that again?
No, we're okay. We'll move on.
Oh, how very gracious of you. Um, okay, so looking at you, I gather you're not even going for a £20 bet. You're going for a £10 each way for your first selection.
I am. £10 each way for my £20 stake will be Ivy Hill Sky Eye, who runs on Friday in the 7:54. He's my nap on the card Friday. A really strong dog, really good competition dog, who stays this really well. He stays 575, 630 on more, and as I mentioned earlier, he's got enough early pace, shall I say, to keep himself in races in with some really good dogs. So yeah, I think that £10 each way, 100 to 1. I think you can have a nice run for your money with that. He's a really classy competition dog.
Excellent. And then on to your £50 choice.
My £50 win bet will be Native Maestro, back to 25 to 1. Look, classy as they come, to be honest. I think he's a really nice dog. The introduction race at Toaster a couple of weeks ago was brilliant. You know, he beat Kilara Lion. That was in the race with him, and that runs against him again on Friday. That was 3 3/4 lengths behind him. Yeah, he's a dog who has got plenty of early pace. He stays well, and again, he'll be hard to knock out the frame. I'd expect him to win on Friday and come on for that again. Yeah, I think this dog could go close to break in 29 seconds. I think he's that quick, and I think that time will go in this competition. If we're being honest, I think it will go, and I think he could be one that does that. He's a really, really nice sort for Graham Holland and the team. So yeah, he'd be my £50 bet at 25 to 1.
Yeah, I've watched him in the trial stake, and he looked absolutely as though he loved the track, didn't he? He railed so well and just did everything right. If he keeps drawing trap 1 as well, it certainly looks a little bit special. So finally, onto your £100, and who are we dealing with?
It's not the most original, but not the ball Sid, £100 at 16 to 1. I watched this dog. He was a massive price at Nottingham last year, and I think he got to the semi-final stage. He was a really big price at the start of the competition, went under the radar, and he's just got better and better as the years gone on. You know, he's the Easter Cup winner back in March at Shelbourne, and yeah, I think this dog's just an absolute aeroplane. I put him up about 3-4 months ago. I got asked what would be a selection for the Derby at the time, and he would have been a little bit bigger at the time, thinking about 25s. And I just cannot pass this dog. I think it's an absolute machine, and I think he wins on Saturday or Friday. He runs Friday, he wins, he gets through. Hopefully all's well, and he can do it from any trap really as well. He doesn't have to be. He's not draw dependent. He won the Easter Cup out of 6 as well. So you know he doesn't rely on being in trap 1 or 2. It wouldn't concern me too much if he was in 3 or 4, as long as the right dogs are around him. So yeah, I think he's really strong. He's got plenty of early pace as well, and yeah, he'd be my £100 selection at 16 to 1.